All right, let's talk about something that's everywhere, spreads like crazy, and can do some serious damage. I'm talking about gossip. We're going to dive deep and figure out not just what it is, but more importantly, how we can put a stop to it. Okay, so I want to start with this thought, and it might sound a little traumatic at first, but stick with me. Some messes just can't be cleaned up. Yeah, let that sink in for a second. And no, I'm not talking about spilling a drink or tracking mud through the house. This is something way, way more complicated.
So you're probably wondering, what in the world does a permanent mess have to do with gossip? Well, it turns out, everything. Because the damage that our words can cause, that's one of those messes, the kind that's almost impossible to ever fully clean up.
Okay, to really get this, let's try a little thought experiment. Imagine you take a full tube of toothpaste and you squeeze the entire thing out onto a plate. You've got this big, gooey, messy pile. Now, here's the challenge. Try to put all of that toothpaste back into the tube. You can't, right? It's impossible. Well, words, and especially gossip, are exactly like that toothpaste. Once they're out there, you can never, ever fully take them back. And they always leave a mess behind. All right, so if we're going to tackle this thing, we've got to know exactly what we're up against. So let's get our definitions straight and really name the problem. First up, let's talk about rumors versus gossip, because they're not the same thing. A rumor, that's just some unverified piece of info floating around, like, hey, I heard they're changing the lunch menu. It's not really personal. But gossip? Gossip is a whole different beast. It's all about people's private lives, and here's the key. It almost always comes with a side of judgment. That's the big, crucial difference right there. And then you have the most toxic level of all, slander. Or, as we often see it today, cyberbullying. We're not talking about casual chatter anymore. This is mean, this is intentional. It's sharing false information specifically to destroy someone's reputation. And when this stuff hits the internet, its power to hurt just explodes like 1,000 times over. Okay, to really see how this stuff plays out in the real world, let's dive into a little story. It's a great example of the impact of gossip, and we'll call this one A Wizard's Revenge. So, meet Sarah and Mark. These two were, they were champion gossips, always poking their noses into everyone else's business. And their motto, their justification for it all was, hey, if they had nothing to hide, then they wouldn't mind. Sound familiar? It's that classic, kind of flimsy excuse people use to justify invading someone's privacy. Well, that little motto of theirs was about to get a serious reality check. Because one day, they picked the wrong person to gossip about, a very bad-tempered wizard. And this wizard decided it was time to teach them a lesson, one they would never forget. All of a sudden, a voice booms over the entire school sound system, and it's broadcasting Sarah's most private, secret thought. Her crush on Robert. Can you just imagine the sheer humiliation? A secret she'd maybe never told a single soul is now blasted for everyone to hear? Oh, but it doesn't stop there. Not even close. Next up is Mark. And his inner thought, this really mean, angry thought he's having about another student, is broadcast for all to hear. The violation is just total. Their private, internal worlds are ripped open and laid bare for everyone. Just pause for a second and really think about that. How would you feel if your most private thoughts were suddenly made public? Embarrassed? For sure. Angry? Definitely. Violated? Absolutely. And that right there is the heart of why privacy is so, so important. And here's the brilliant twist, the turning point. When Sarah and Mark complain to the wizard, what does he do? He throws their own logic right back in their faces. And in that moment, it clicks. They realize that having private thoughts is not the same thing as having something to hide. So this whole story begs the question, why do we even gossip in the first place? Well, a lot of it boils down to what's going on inside of us. Things like insecurity, feeling like you need to put someone else down to lift yourself up. Or jealousy, which is a super powerful trigger. Sometimes it's about fitting in, right? Sharing a secret makes you feel like you're part of the in-group. And other times, it's just simple, plain curiosity. Okay, so we've got the what and the why down. Now for the most important part of all. What do we do about it? How do we stop it? It's time to build our anti-gossip toolkit. So here are 5 simple but super powerful things you can do. Number 1, and this is the big one, just don't. Repeat it. Be the person who breaks the chain. Simple. Number 2, question the source. A simple, how do you know that's true, can stop gossip in its tracks. 3, just change the subject. Pivot the conversation to something else. 4, be brave and actually stand up for the person being talked about. And finally, number 5, before you type, before you post, before you share, remember that tube of toothpaste.
All right, now for the last tool in our kit. And honestly, this might be the most powerful one of all. It's an idea that's been around for literally thousands of years, but you're about to see just how relevant it is today. This framework is attributed to the great Greek philosopher Socrates, and his idea was this: before you say something about someone else, you should make it pass through 3 gates, 3 simple tests. And here they are, the 3 filters. The first is truth. Is what you're about to say absolutely 100% truth? The second is goodness. Is it something good? Is it kind? And the third filter is usefulness. Is it helpful? Is it necessary for the other person to hear this? Okay, let's put this to the test with a super simple, everyday example. Let's say you see someone, we'll call him Max, and he totally trips over a water fountain. It's kind of funny, and your first instinct is to text your friends about it. But wait, let's run it through the filters first.
Okay, let's break it down. Filter number 1. Is it true? Yep, you saw it with your own eyes. So it passes the first gate. No problem. Now, filter number 2. Is it good or kind? Well, no. Sharing it would just embarrass Max, right? So that's a big fail. On to filter number 3. Is it useful? Is there any benefit to sharing this? Nope. The only reason to share it is to get a laugh at his expense. So that's another fail.
And here's the simple, beautiful rule of the system. If what you want to say fails even one of those tests, the verdict is clear. You keep it to yourself. That's it. It's such a simple but powerful way to make sure your words are building people up, not tearing them down.
And look at that. We've come full circle, right back to where we started. Remember the toothpaste? Every single time you're about to speak or text or post something about another person, just picture that messy, irreversible glob of toothpaste. Our words have weight. They have permanence.
So, I'm going to leave you with one final question to think about. The next time you're tempted to share something about someone, pause and ask yourself, which of those 3 gates, truth, goodness, or usefulness, which one is going to be the toughest for your words to get through?